Hello, everyone doing? How is this Friday going with you? Yes, we are live. Welcome to Standard Africa Conference 2023. How are you all doing this Friday morning? How is it going with you? I'm so happy to have you all here. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, I can see you all. Thank you so much. You're welcome, welcome, welcome once again. Thank you. Thank you for joining Standard Africa Conference 2023. And I'm delighted to have you all here. So, how are you all doing this Friday morning? Mine is, I'm doing extremely well. I don't know about you. My day is going extremely well. So, what about you? You're welcome to Standard Africa Conference. And this Standout Africa Conference is a conference that is slated out to help youths acquire the right knowledge and the right skills in order to improve in their visions, in their missions, and even in their purposes. And I'm so delighted to have you all here once again. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So my name is Ezema Sophia. I'm a content writer and a founder of Building Influential Phenomenal Network. And I will be your host for today. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I'm so delighted to have you all. All right, so you do want to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. If you're watching us from any different states in Nigeria, Enugu, Abuja, any place, or possibly even outside the country, you can tell us your name and where you are watching us from. For example, my name is Ezema Sophia and I am anchoring from Lagos. So you tell us your name and also where you're watching us from so we could give you a warm welcome. All right. So we're diving into what we have today. I'm so happy to know that there are some phenomenal figures who will be speaking to us even in this conference. And yes, we cannot wait to have them here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. All right, the first speaker that will be speaking to us is someone that I respect so much. And before I introduce him to the stage, I would like to appreciate the convener of this conference by naming the person of Sir Emmanuel Aloyos and even the team that worked and toiled so hard to make sure that this conference is a success and even brought it to our doorstep. I really appreciate you all for your job done, and I'm so happy to know that this year's conference is coming up this way. All right, first of all, before we go live, before we call the speaker to the stage, you tell me if you can actually hear me clearly. If you can hear me clearly, you will let me know. Anywhere you're watching us from, if you can hear me clearly, you let me know. All right? Okay, so we will be calling up the first speaker. We'll be calling up the first speaker to the conference. All right. Okay, I can see you all. I can see you all. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we'll be calling the first speaker to the stage, and I'll be delighted to be reading his profile. All right, the first speaker is Sir Emmanuel Aloyos, and he is an entrepreneur, a project manager, a human resource personnel, an educator, and a motivational speaker, and a leadership advocate and work ethic expert from Poise, Nigeria. He is the coordinator of eCampus Television, a co-founder of McLauris, and convener of Standard Africa, where he focuses on capacity building and inspiring undergraduates and young graduates in the society. He currently has campus television programs on air. It includes Me and You on campus with Affiliate London Business School. He's also and a leader situation because the stage. I would like to also know where you're watching us from. Please, If you're watching us from any parts of the country, please let us know, okay? I want to see you all. I want to hear you all. Tell me where you're watching us from. And I would like to throw more light on the theme of this conference tagged responsibility, response, and ability. And we have over 7 speakers who will be coming up on stage to tell us and to wait. I mean that you can't wait actually to see them. First of all, I would like to, can hear me clearly while we wait for a speaker to come up on stage. If you can hear me clearly, please let me hear me clearly, okay? So that I will have a good flow, all right? Okay. Okay, so Standout Africa Conference have been one of the conferences that, well, let's say that it have started ever since from the year 2021. Okay, Standout Africa Conference, like I said, is a yearly conference that particularly helps youth, okay, to acquire the right skills, the right knowledge, and even to help them, even in this century that we are into, to help them to build their capacity and to build their ability to become the best, even on social media and even at the world at large. And because there are some people that pay for the knowledge you will be listening to, the knowledge you'll be gaining from this conference. There are some people that pay for it. But you being in this conference is a big opportunity and a huge opportunity to you. All right. So we are still waiting for our speaker. Tell us your name and where you're watching us from. I cannot wait to, I cannot wait. And while we wait for him to come up on stage, please, like I said, tell us your name and where you're watching us from so that we can. You are welcome. Okay, please, I think your mic should be unmuted so that we can hear you.
Is he okay now?
Yeah. Yes, we can
Is
hear
he
you, sir.
okay
You can
now?
go ahead.
All
You
right.
can go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Sophia, for this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. God bless everyone that they're watching and hearing from us. Standard Africa is one of the programs that is my heartbeat strength from anything you can see in the status quo. We have all what it takes to change the world entirely. That's my passion. That's my dream. And that's where I'm going. And I believe that the world's greatest, uh, the world's greatest Africa, because of what we got inside of us. And that's the essence of the Standout conference. And today, I'm here to do the opening speech, more or less like an introduction to what the theme, responsibility, which is response and also ability. And I must tell you the truth, the topic is one of the topics that many people may want to shy away from. We all need people to help us. We all need people to be part of our journey. We all need people to make us who we need to be. Whenever you ask anybody, they say the government. Whenever you ask this person, they say my parents. You ask this person, they say my uncle. They ask this person, they say. So everybody looks for someone to blame for their shit. You get what I'm saying now? So, and that is the essence of this thing. And I want to tell you, from childhood, we've actually been expressing what we call responsibility. As a child, you are responsible for whatever you want to get in life. That's why a child will always have a strategy to get whatever he or she wants to get out of life. So life is a product of what you give it. So it's not based on what people give to you or what it gives to you, but you have to give it what it will give back to you. That's the essence of this talk. I just have about 30 minutes or less to discuss something very important, and which I'm going to be laying the foundation for this team. Great speakers are going to speak after me. I have seen them, I know them, and I know what they can do. I respect their capacity in their different fields, and they are going to be speaking. And I just want to lay foundation to this team responsibility. And I want you all to follow, and let's get into this right. First of all, I'm going to be looking at self as a source, self as a source. Now, whatever we are today is a product of ourselves. Whatever we see is a product of our personality. You cannot go beyond your capacity. You cannot do what is beyond yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And that's one of the things we should understand. As we grow in life, we associate with people based on our capacity. You cannot associate with people more than your capacity. People come to you when they see they are the same level with you, or they want to tap from your level. You get what I'm saying? So it's very important to understand this. So looking at self as thought is very, very important as far as I see about life. Whatever you want to be today, many people have actually been that. If you say you don't have a leg today, you don't have hand, you don't have eyes, many people don't even have that. We know of one of the greatest musicians in Africa, especially Nigeria, who doesn't have eyes, and is doing mighty things in the musical world. And we can even talk of so many people that do not have legs. Who should they blame for that? Those people were born that way. Some people were like just like that, and the same thing to do for them today. They have become something remarkable that we are reading them as. So who do we blame? So first of all, you must see this as what myself as thought. What did I say? Self as thought. Pastor, what does type self as thought? If you know you are following me. So it's very important to see that it is self. Everything that happens to us begins with us. So we are going to be looking at two laws. Life is governed by laws. People, a lot of people do a lot of things based on laws, traditions, beliefs, law. Why is there law? A lot of countries have laws. A lot of society they have laws, bylaws. You know, you know how you must live your life and the several things you must do. If you go against this, everything in this world is controlled by law. There is something they call law of accident. It says that life is a series of random occurrence and that things just happen by accident. Some people believe that school of thought and that school of thought is the law of accident. We believe that everything happens to us by accident. So if you are not eating, that is how it has to be. That is the way the world has made it. That is how it happens. That is just how we see it. And that's the way they live their life. We see fine, we don't see fine. And that's the way people live their life. You get it? But there's also another law we call law of responsibility. It is only law of responsibility that counters the law of accident. And what does the law say? The law says that you are completely responsible for everything you are, and for everything you will become and achieve. So for everything you are now, for everything you become tomorrow and achieve, it is based on what you are the one responsible. It's based on yourself. Self. So you don't happen by accident. Oh, my mom was not there. That's why I didn't go to school. No, my mom was not there. That's why I couldn't make it in life. Oh, this one happened to me because this thing wasn't happening. Too many excuses because those people believe that life is governed by what? Now, the law of accident. But there is only one law that counters such such law of accident. That is the law of responsibility. Thank God, if the world itself has 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 been only based on law of accident, maybe we will just completely say, that is how it is. Whatever that comes our way, that's what we get. But thank God for the law of what? Nobody and based on these laws is what is it? Responsibility, not a burden, responsibility or credit. Responsibility is not them in what we call either there are evaluation, if they evaluate you, they praise you, if they evaluate you, they credit you. Now, either judgment or whether you are blamed. So responsibility is not that. Take that off your shoulder, take that off your mind. That is not responsibility. Okay. Now, what is now let's go to what Erhard said. Erhard said something. He said that responsibility begins with the willingness to take the stand that one is caught in a matter of life. What does it mean? He says that what now? That responsibility begins when you take responsibility that whatever thing that happens to your life, you are the one. Self is the one in charge. Whatever that happens to you, it is me. It is me, not anybody. It is me taking responsibility. It is me. Everybody will always look for responsibility at every point in time. As we grow older, it's just that the more we grow, the higher the responsibility. But the truth is that responsibility is always there. You have to take responsibility. If a child does not cry, nobody will know if she is hungry. If a baby doesn't say whatever it is, so that part you need to play is your responsibility. And that's why I believe in what Erhard has said, that what? That responsibility begins with you. And that's the essence of whatever thing we are doing. So look at it. Based on what Erhard has said, you can deduce that it's simply the stand you choose to take. Nobody should be responsible. That's why most times when anybody says anything, I will tell the person, what is your take on this matter? Nobody should determine, no matter how spiritual your pastor can only give you an advice. You know, there was a time we keep saying prophecy. What is prophecy? Prophecy is just giving you a proposal. It's either you accept it or you don't accept it. It's your responsibility to accept or not to accept. So it is your stand. It is that thing you take, that stand you take for whatever thing you want to be. It is your responsibility. Don't No man should be responsible for what belongs to you. No man should be responsible for what is meant for you. Now, it starts with willingness to deal with the situation, whatever situation that comes on your way. It starts with the willingness to deal with it from the self point of view. Self point of view. Self point of view. You see so many people, they are in one mistake or the other today. They look for who to blame. Why are you this? They didn't. Why are you this? They didn't. Why are you that? Why are you like this? They look for who they will blame. Those people are irresponsible people. And no responsible people, no irresponsible person can actually attain to a point of leadership in life. Okay? So we go further and we look at you are the source. Like I said, self is source. You are the source of what you are. Number one, what you are the source. Okay? You have to begin to look at things that way. That will make you become pragmatic. That will make you become dedicated, determined for success. You are responsible first. You are the source of what happens to you, what you do, and what you have. Whatever thing you are, whatever thing you do, whatever thing you have, it's your responsibility. You chose it. Even if you are married, your husband can only suggest. You are responsible for that decision. So you have to know that responsibility is your own prerogative. Now, it extends. Now, listen, some people stop at the point where they say, oh, I'm responsible for what I am, I'm responsible for what I'm doing, I'm responsible for what I have. Yes, some people stop at that point. But you can go further to discover that whatsoever is done to others and whatever others do to others is also your responsibility. So it's very important. So this is making self as thought. That is true responsibility. So the moment you take yourself as No, so that's why we see a lot of people today they quarrel at home, families they quarrel, issues at home because one doesn't want to take responsibility, the wife doesn't want to take responsibility, the husband doesn't want to take responsibility, children doesn't want to take responsibility, and that is how co-health begins to go on in the house. Whatever thing that's happening in the government today, but have you taken responsibility? Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, are you responsible with the little that has been given to you? Few days back, with permission, there was a day a lot of government workers they locked the gate and they told them not to enter because some of them came late and they started abusing the minister of work. And for me, it's not because they're working for government. Many government workers are irresponsible people. Sorry to say that, but that's the truth. They come to work late, they handle things anyhow. Yes, they get the pay, and you blame this side, but you don't blame yourself. You don't see yourself. You feel everybody is responsible to you. And that's the narrative we have to change as young people coming up. We must see things in the right perspective. We must be responsible for whatever thing we are doing. There's nobody that should take the responsibility. We should take the responsibility. Whatever that happens in Nigeria is our responsibility. It's no man's responsibility. And that's why we must fight it through to making it the best nation and whatever thing we need to. We don't need to look at anyone's face. That is our responsibility. In the school, in our college of education, in our polytechnics, and in our universities, we need to begin to see things the way we need to see. We need to see things the way we need to take responsibility. I see a lot of SUG presidents, and they come into the school as SUG presidents, but they are actually wolves trying to, use people, and they're not responsible for their assignment, and the assignment has been given to them as common as class rep is, many people are not responsible for that assignment and they think that that is how life is. No. Why are you like this? No, because of this, because of that, because of this. Because they just want to blame everybody. You see, sometimes when I work with someone and at the end of the day I say, why didn't you do this? And the person say, begin to explain and explain and explain and explain and explain and explain. I don't use that person again because I feel that person is not worth it. But when you are able to say, oh, why didn't you do this? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. In fact, you own up and say, yes, it's my fault. That even makes you more responsible. Okay. So the Nigerian youth, Africans and alike, I'm only bringing you this to let you know that until when we become responsible for our lives, we become responsible for whatever that happens to us around us and what we have, then we begin to see the good. We begin to see how to make whatever we have to become something worth. Why? Now, my counsel, first of all, is the fact that never make excuses or blame anyone. I've said that over and over. Never you. Never you. Never you come to a point where you begin to blame people for what is happening to you or who you are. Don't blame anybody for that. Okay? Don't allow it to affect your mind because when you begin to blame people, you will not see the good out of that situation. Because naturally, disasters are everywhere. If I tell you today we talk about America, today we talk about other countries out there, that are doing well in their own way. And the truth is that these people took advantage of their difficult times. They took advantage of the times that the things weren't even going on well with them. And today took taking such a and we will expect so much from life. You can't expect so much on life when you don't want to take responsibility about it. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I will end by telling you the three levels of responsibility. And I think with that, we have been able to do justice to this introductory section of this thing. And I believe that my friends out there who are going to come in today, tomorrow, to talk about responsibility will do great justice and I know what they are definitely going to do. And I believe that with this, I've been able to make you see that you are the best version of yourself. The solution to whatever thing you need is inside of you. It's only for you to take responsibility. the solution for whatever thing you want to get out of life is inside of you. It's just that you have not been able to tap into it because you are looking for someone else to do it for you. Okay. Yeah. So now let's look at levels of responsibility. Now, let me begin by making you understand that we are free moral agents. God made us free moral agents. And that's why he's not interfering with our choices. He's not interfering with whatever thing we think. He said that you should choose. The Bible made us understand that the Bible said that you should choose between right or wrong. He gives you the ability to choose. He wants you to think and choose. Even God himself is not coercing you to decide. He said choose life or death. But he also encouraged that you should choose life. But it's not coercing you. It's not making you to say, okay, it's not making you to say that you can pick whatever thing you want. No, 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 you can't. So what is the first level? The first level is that I am responsible for everything I do, and I'm also responsible for everything I see. Whatever thing I do and I see, I'm responsible for it. The next level is I'm responsible for what others do to me and I do to them. Whatsoever anybody does to you, or whatever vice versa, you do to them, as an officer, as a leader, or whatever thing you are doing to people, you are responsible for it. You are responsible for yourself. Now, you are also the highest level, which is the third level, is that you are responsible for what others do to others. Very important. You are responsible for whatever thing they do to others. So you tell yourself that I am responsible. Whenever things come to you, I'm responsible for myself. I'm responsible for others. You understand? And you are responsible for what others do to others. And that is what the true responsibility is all about. So I will encourage every one of you to please embrace responsibility, embrace it, embrace it. Anybody that wants to become, how will I put it? If you want to be in charge of your world, if you want to be in charge of if you want to be in charge of whatever thing you want to be in charge in this world, then you must, as much as you can, embrace responsibility. Now, hear this. The more something exists outside you, the less powerful you are. The more things happen outside you, the less powerful you are. So when things happen through you, when it happens within you, that's why you have to embrace the responsibility. Because if it's not happening around you, then you're not powerful. So the more you are responsible to yourself, you're responsible to others, you're responsible to others, what happens to others, you become very powerful. And that I will sign off. Now, let's say you are inside the vehicle and some people littered, someone is just eating, and while the person is eating, maybe banana or one other thing, and he took the banana and threw it outside. You are responsible to telling that person not to throw that peel outside. You are responsible. And if you have opportunity while you are walking, the person threw something outside like that, and you saw it, you pick it up. Because you don't know if it's your neighbor or if it's your friend that will slide into that thing that is going to cause a lot of damage. So you are responsible. You are responsible. So I want what the true fighting. You are responsible for them. When you are fighting or whatever thing that happens to them, find a way to sort the matter between them. That's why I sometimes I encourage ministers, people that work in leadership offices and all that. They are very, 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 very responsible people. If I feel I've been notified that my time is up, and I think at this point I have been able to is highly important for anybody that wants to achieve anything, whatever thing you want to achieve in this life. If you are very responsible, you can achieve
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I was at the background stage and listening, excited to know that you're live with us. Thank you so much, sir. And honestly, we don't actually have enough time for questions, but then if you have any question, please do well to put it at the comment section so that we can pick it up from there as we are going to be welcoming the second speaker to the stage. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you very,
joining.
thank you very much. All right.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Sir Emmanuel, that was Sir Emmanuel Aloyels that we heard from, and he spoke on, possibly that was particularly on the definition of responsibility, ability, and response. He threw more light to us on that definition. And I'm so delighted to know also that you are also live with us, yes, person that we are going to be hearing today. All right. So we will like to introduce the second speaker to the stage. We'd like to introduce him to the stage. And before we do that, I'll be reading his profile. Are we ready? Okay. His name is Stephen Adediba, stroke career coach, who has directly inspired over 25,000 Nigerian youths and young adults. Apart from his daily motivational nuggets, he facilitates conferences and seminars and organizes corporate group workshops, both virtually and physically. His exceptional leadership spirit and intelligence have earned him a number of awards, one of which was the best graduating student in the Department of Mass Communication. Wow. He is a professional member of different platforms. He is an ambassador of guidance of the Nation International, that is GOTNI, where he has gotten platforms to address over 50,000 COPS members through NYSC platforms across Nigeria. He's also the founder and president of Motivational, that is Motivation Heals Africa. He has a quite lengthy profile, but if he comes up on stage, he will tell us more of himself. So, without pleasure, I would love to welcome to us Sir Stephen Adediba. Thank you so much for joining, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome, sir. All right, while we wait for him to join, please, if you're just joining us in this program, do tell us your name and where you're watching us from. If you're watching us from any different states in Nigeria, tell us your name and where you're watching us from. For example, my name is Ezema Sophia and I'm anchoring from Lagos. So you tell us your name and where you are watching us from. Thank you so much. All right, while we wait on Sir Stephen Adediba, I would also like to ask you if you have any question at all regards to the first speaker that came up to the stage to address us. If you have any question, please tell us and put it at the comment section so that we can attend to it. Welcome so much, sir. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Sophia.
Yeah, delighted to have you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, thank you. I do not take this for granted. Special regards to the organizers of this wonderful conference. I've been waiting for a long time now. I would have turned this down, but for my friend, my brother, I had to. I got in from Lagos to Ibadan very late last night just to be able to do this because of some other engagements that I have. But my own whole essence as an individual has always been to add value to people across all strata, across all demography. And I mean, I do not take this for granted, but I will just align based on the time frame as given to me so that I can dish out some of the contents or things that I feel would be instrumental out towards helping our people become better. Well, I have been told to speak on building capacity for response. Well, they've read my my profile. My name is Stephen Adedigba. I'm an author of 3 books. I'm a public speaker. I'm an integrated marketing communication expert. And currently, I work as the youngest general manager of a radio station here in the city of Ibadan, Nigeria. And I do a lot of talks across all spheres, adding value to the lives of people across different strata of the society. I hope you can hear me. I want to be sure before I proceed, please.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. I can hear you clearly. So
Absolutely.
please, if
Thank
you
you
can
so much.
also hear him, put it at the comment section as well. I can hear you, sir. You can go on. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, when Mr. Emmanuel told me about the conference, I've always known Mr. Emmanuel to be someone that dispenses value part time. And I do not take the opportunity for granted. We've been doing this for half a decade now. And I celebrate all the great things and works that you do, Mr. Emmanuel. God, in His infinite mercy, will continually guide you and make you better at whatsoever you do. Well, moving straight into the team to speak about, and I like to give some illustrations equal to some of the things that we have to share today, right? Building capacity for response. I'm sure Mr. Emmanuel gave some very clear understanding of some of the things that we need to understand about capacity, about responsibility, and all of it. But yeah, my own focus will just be on building capacity. Well, the word, if you look at that thing, you discover that it has building, it has capacity, and it has response. Let me first make you understand that every of those words as indicated there are all encompassing in a process. Life itself is a process, and of course, whatsoever we will become or who we will definitely be is subjected to the processes that we go through, right? Building. Let me give us an illustration of someone who the design, doing the costing to ascertain if all of those things are put in place before they do all of before the building comes to life. Want to climb the top of the ladder? They want to lose some other great individuals today, and what comes to our mind is, well, I want to be like this person, or you feel you want to be like that person right now without understanding actually we would become. So I'll start on this note that capacity building takes time. People need to understand that if you must build capacity, it takes time, right? It is a daily end result that you want. So capacity is encompassing of so many things. One of it is ability. One of it is strength. And of course, the capability, technical know-how to be able to deliver in some strategic, life demanding situations. These are some of those things that we need to also put into consideration. Understand that capacity building for response is no joke. So if right now, if all that you have been thinking about has been about you just want to get to the last rung of the ladder, or you want to become that great or successful person without paying the price for the kind of life that you so desire or you want or you've envisaged, then this conference is not for you. But if you're someone who understands that life is in phases and of course there are stages that we need to go, it's basically for you. I won't be wasting your some other engagement myself. Okay, my still 2 younger brothers who are currently in tertiary institution. I am left-handed, and from age 0 to let's say till I was in the left-handed people uh, should be exceptionally intelligent and all, but the reverse was the case for me. I was extremely dull, and even if I come home with 27, my life can. Cousin whose mom told me, and I saw her playing with some of her friends, saying that how would I beat my cousin who is more intelligent than I was? That I should also learn to be very exceptional as a student. That word got to me, and I can say that that was the turning point for my life, right? And I believe my life would definitely not be impacted or be wanted for myself. So it started like that, and I told myself that okay, the next time I was going to do better. right? There is always a capacity for everyone to build, but most people don't know the kind of steps they need to take to build that capacity. They don't know the kind of steps they need to take to build the kind of capacity that will be out to stay have situation for many of you to kind of life that you have always envisaged. All right. So I mean that was it for me as a student going up. So I discovered the term. After second term, I was able to make fourth position, and my parent bought me a bicycle for my academic performance. And since then, till date, I mean, every of the academic pursuit, the time family background that we have. I came from a home better life. I want a better lifestyle. I want everything changed, and that was it for me. Right, right. So it's encompassing for us to understand that the kind of life we are going to live is subjected to the kind of capacity that we have built. Parameter that can serve as metrics to make in place. And that excellence is the bedrock of building capacity. That's one. Two, capacity properly built would bring about tractions. People would it will bring about visibility. It will bring about acceptance. It will bring about recommendations, right? You need to put the work. I mean, more work for you to get to the limelight in whatsoever you do. So many of us will just think that, okay, you can just be whatsoever you want to be by doing less. You can't get less. You can't get more by doing less. You get result commensurate to the kind of effort that you have put into it. You can't effectively respond to the kind of life that you want if you've not built capacity. So capacity building is on the right trajectory towards projecting us for the kind of life that we so desire. You might so desire a kind of life, but without the capacity. In some instance, I've had opportunities and, of course, platforms to speak to students and mean people across all sphere, across all strata. And some of the things they would say is, I want to be this kind of thing. And the question would now be, do you have the right capacity? Have you built the capacity for all of these things that you so desire? Right? Many of the people, my coaching clients, will tell me, I want to write a book. But these are individuals that have not even read, let's say, in their whole life, in their mid 30s, they've not even read up to 30 books all their lives. So the kind of result that such life will produce would not be commensurate to the kind of things that they basically want because they have not equipped themselves. Right? You can easily decipher someone who has not equipped his or her life by the kind of things that they do. What do they say? Who are their friends? What do they do? I want to be sure we are all following. So building capacity is something that I think at the national level, government at all levels should start thinking of how best to build capacity for our people. It's beyond the level of trying to give people money, trying to send some people to some school, but making them understand or see reasons why they need to build capacity. Don't forget that the capacity makes you better than other people because there are numerous people who have numerous dreams. But what sets you apart from other people, what separates you from the ordinary, is that extra capacity that you have, that extra touch that you have that can set you apart from other people. So if you have been someone who have always been doing the same thing over, no wonder Albert Einstein said it is insanity doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. The kind of life is subjected that you will live is subjected to the kind of capacity that you build. And of course, when you build capacity, don't forget that the bedrock of building capacity is understanding the kind of responsibility you need to understand. People need to understand that you cannot give responses to what you don't understand. It is what you critically understand that you can respond to. Right? Now, responsibility. When responsibility arises, right? If you have not been responsible, you cannot function in that space because you don't know what it takes, right? Now, capacity building would stretch you. Capacity building will mold you. In some instance, capacity building will make you cry. Yeah, it will request a lot from you. Capacity building is no joke. Capacity building is not something you just do without putting the right effort, right? So no wonder Mark Zuckerberg said dreams are not fully formed. Yeah, it is when you start working on those dreams that you get clear ideas about some of those things, right? I wrote in my third book, Evolve, and I indicated something. I'm sure Mr. Emmanuel can align with what I'm about to say. That where we would be is directly proportional on the kind of capacity that we have built. Many of us, we so desire the best. We want to be that champion. We want to be the top. We want to be at the top of our career. But the question would now be, what kind of capacity are we building? Right? So, in building capacity for response, there are some very salient and germane things that we need to put into consideration. And one of it is, I call it the 5 C's of expanding your capacity. The 5 C's of expanding your capacity. The very first one is you need to first build confidence. Right? You can't build what you don't understand. It doesn't work like that. It's very essential that that's Habakkuk 2:3. I'm not trying to sound sermonic or trying to be a pastor right now, but some of our thoughts are driven from the scripture, and of course, it will guide us through. Are you getting what I'm about to say? Habakkuk, he said, write the dream, make it plain upon the tablet, that he who read, right, might be able to run. Now, the dream is for an appointed time, right? Right? So he's saying, Habakkuk 2, he's saying that write that dream, write it plain, the vision, write it plain upon the tablet, so that he that readeth might run it. For the dream is for yet an appointed time, but in the end it shall speak. Though it may tarry, but it will definitely come to pass, right? The reason many of us have not attained the height we should attain or function in the spaces we should currently function is not because God did not destin us for the best, or because we are not good enough, or because we are not smart enough, but because we really do not have the right information that would be instrumental towards projecting us to the next phase in our destiny. It's just like an analogy shared some times back that if you have not built capacity for 100,000, if you make 1 million naira, you will spend that money just anyhow until you spend it to what your capacity can contain. Right? So building capacity for response, you need to spend that money just anyhow until you spend it to what your capacity can contain. And that's why for many of us it looks like we pray so hard, we work so hard. It looks like we are not doing a lot of things, but in the same vein, thank you, Madam Sophia, I can see your message. It looks like the kind of result that we want is really not surfacing, not because we do not have a bright future, or not because God does not destine us for the best, but because we do not have the right capacity to project us for the kind of life that we so desire. So one, capacity building puts you on the right trajectory for excellence. So if you are here and you have always lived your life as a mediocre, I tell you that you need to have a change of mindset in this direction so that you can be that person that God has designed you to be. So building capacity for response, I said we have 3 C's of expanding your capacity in that light. And the first is building confidence. Yeah, many people are really not confident in this world, and that's why they've not been able to attract the kind of investment or the kind of lifestyle that would take them to the next phase in destiny, because they have no confidence. Many of them, when you tell them, oh, the future is bright, they probably do not have an idea about it. And they've forgotten to understand that nothing changes without until something has been legislated within. You don't become what you have not envisaged, right? Right? So that's the first one. Two is, in building capacity, you need to expand your connection. Yeah. Who are the people in your circle? What's your social capital? Right? Who are those people? I mean, there are instances in my life when some people will call me, oh, Steve, we need to get this done. And because of the kind of life that I live, it's really been helpful for me to have someone somehow who will be able to solve a problem part time. Who are the people you have in your circle? And the next one is improving your competence. Yeah, I'm going to go there. So I got married last about 2 months ago. That's August 19. And I called a friend who positioned himself as one of the photographers, right? Who said he was very, very good. So I felt the best I could do. Though I'm not someone who places emotion ahead of excellence. No, I place value delivery ahead of any other thing. So this guy came for I called him and I paid him for the photo shoot for our wedding, pre-wedding shoot. And this guy could not deliver on the grounds that he had projected more than the capacity that he has built. And that's probably the problem many of us are facing. Many of us, we advertise beyond the capacity that we have. And that's one lesson I want to tell us today, that you should see that time you are using to project what you have not built enough capacity for. Please spend those time, right, to build enough capacity for yourself before you advertise. Don't advertise the capacity you have not built, right? Don't advertise the capacity that you have not built, because if you advertise the capacity that you have not built, what that will do for you invariably is to set you in a place and you become a mediocre. Mediocrity is something that you cannot hide. Also, excellence. You can't hide excellence. If you are good, you are good. If you are not good, see, it's not I am close to being good. No, it's either you are good or you are not. So many of us in this age, we spend more time trying to be to sorry, I'm a bit distracted. We spend more time trying to advertise for what we have not built enough competence in. And that's one of the problems that we have. So for you to build capacity for response, it's essential for you to what? Improve your competence. Your competence level has to be top notch if you must function in the kind of phase that you definitely want to operate in. The next thing is strengthen your character. Yeah, strengthen your character. I would rather employ someone with great character who is not a professional than engage a professional with bad character. Character is what speaks volume of you, even when you are not there. And that's why you need to spend more time. As much as you are spending more time on building competence, it's also very essential that you build more time on what? On improving your character. Character is what sets you apart. Character is what projects you on the right pedestal of excellence. And that's why you should not compromise that for anything whatsoever. The next thing is increase your commitment. Yeah, your commitment to work, your commitment to delivery, Some people, they lie so well, they are not dutiful, and they want to move to the next phase in destiny. That's not how life operates. God does not waste time on people who always want to become mediocre. I mean, that's not how things work. So you must be willing and interested at all times to give your best to whatsoever you want to do. Madam Sophia, do I still have more time? I want to be sure. I want to be sure about that. Madam Sophia, I want to be sure. Okay. I'll proceed in that regard. Everything comes to us based on whatsoever we so desire. We cannot function beyond the level of the information at our disposal. The capacity that we build has a great deal of effect towards determining who we are going to become. And that's why we don't have to waste time on some things. We need to ensure that the kind of life that we are living aligns with the kind of dream and trajectory we always want to move. See, you don't see capacity building. It will get to a time that you would not even have more time for numerous people. It's not because you're proud. It's just because the project that is more important than any other person in life to you is yourself. That's the project, me. God did not say love your neighbor more than yourself. He said love your neighbor as yourself. That means you must place more preference to you. You know why? If you don't place more preference on yourself, people would not place more preference on you, because what you didn't do can't get you where you want to be. You can't function beyond the capacity of who you want to become. So you must put the right effort towards becoming who you definitely want to become. Let me tell you, your responsibility in life is not to have cars, to buy, to have, that's basically nothing. It's subjected to the kind of life that you live that impacts or influences other people. How will you be responsible? How do you respond to situations? How do you want to be responsible when you've not built enough capacity? Many people have even failed to understand that responsibility, the bedrock of responsibility, is capacity building. If you don't have capacity, you can't function. And when you can't function, it means you are not responsible. Responsibility is hinged on capacity building. Many of us, we are lazy. We just feel like things will just jump on our laps. We just become who we want to be by doing nothing. It doesn't work. So we must understand that the life that we would live is directly proportional to the kind of work that we do behind closed door. What do you do behind closed door? If someone who has similar dream as you, if you come in close contact, right, do you think you can function well beyond that person? Is that the kind of life you want to live? I mean, these are critical questions you need to ask yourself. Where you are right now, you will continue to be in that place in another 10, 30 years if you keep doing the same thing you are used to doing. And excellence is excellence. It has no substitute. Is that you are good or you are not good? So let me run through all of those things again. The 5 C's of expanding your capacity. You must build confidence. You must expand your connection. You must improve your competence. You must strengthen your character. And the same thing, increase your commitment. You need to be committed to it. They say hard work doesn't kill. It only refines. It makes you better. You need to be hardworking if you must achieve the kind of life that you want. It's not a function of I want to leverage what I have done in the past. Let me tell you, the success of yesterday ended yesterday. I'll take that again. The success of yesterday ended yesterday. And the excellence of the past only recommends you for the past. It is in the past. If you must be relevant today, you have got to build more relevant capacities. So that you were successful yesterday is not enough to make you relevant today, because the success of yesterday died yesterday. So to remain relevant today, you have got to do more things to make you more relevant today. So there's no way we are going to talk about capacity building that we will not talk about value delivery, talk about excellence, talk about relevance, because all of these things are like triplets, Siamese twins that you can't, separate. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's very, very essential that we place more preference on building enough capacity for ourselves. Many of us would have moved further, would have achieved greater feat, provided we are willing to do a lot of things that will set us on the right trajectory of global excellence. And the reason for this capacity building is, don't just build capacity to be nationally recognized, build capacity to be globally competitive. Many of us just feel like, I've been doing a lot of things, they are not recognizing me. People don't place preference to mediocrity. People only place preference to excellence. And that's why you must build that capacity. Capacity is not joke. There are some times that you need to pay to build capacity. Attend seminars, attend conferences, pay for that podcast, listen, get better, right? Every of those things are investment on your future, right? An investment on our future is an investment that is infinite. It will always be there forever, right? We must be able to have some critical things that will project us. Why is it that some people are not engaging you, but they would rather leave you and call your other friends? Because they know that every of the things that you talk about every time is excuses. The reasons why things cannot be done, because you don't have a solution at all time. But they call on other people, or when they have one challenge, they know that, okay, this is someone I can call that can provide a solution to the problem. Is that the kind of life you want to be, where no one wants to even have anything to do with you because of your excuses? So I want to use this opportunity. Thank God for the Standout African Conference of 2023. I'm sure other speakers will still touchlight some more significant things, but it's very, very critical for us as a people to understand that life is no joke, right? Life is no joke. What you have inside of you projects you on the right trajectory for recommendation. People don't recognize or recommend mediocres, right? Since my years that was done in school, I've probably not written any job application. Most of those offers came based on recommendation, right? It's fine that the people you know can get you the job, but what keeps you in the job is what you know how to do, what you can deliver. And what you can deliver, your delivery is subjected to your capacity. You can't function beyond the capacity at your disposal. And that's why you need to spend more time to be able to build enough capacity. Because capacity not built cannot be in use. Capacity that you did not build cannot be in use. So if you must draw from your well of capacity, it is you must have invested into that space very well to function well in that space. I hope with these few points of mine, like Mr. Emmanuel said, I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that moving on the right trajectory of global excellence, becoming a global champion, becoming at the top of your game, becoming all that you want to be, right, comes handy by building capacity. Don't advertise beyond the capacity that you have built. Instead, spend more time to advertise so that your product and capacity you have built per time would advertise itself for the world to see. People care less about mediocre. People place more preference on individuals who have the right capacity to deliver and add more value to wherever they find themselves. Always remember in every of your endeavor, I have no idea what the situation for you, but I'm led to say this to someone right now. Tough times don't last, only tough people do. I'm not trying to motivate or inspire you. I'm just telling you from what I have seen, from what I have personally experienced, right? That things can get better and you can live the life of your dreams, provided you walk on the right path to becoming that person that you have always wanted to be. Always remember that impossibility is there. Once again, I am Steven Adedigba. Thanks for having me. And of course, I do not take this for granted. Mr. Emmanuel, and to everyone who put this together, it means a lot. And thank you for doing a lot of great things to add more value, to impact more lives, and help more people become better at what they do. I really do want to appreciate you. Thanks for the opportunity. God bless. Mrs. Sophia, I think that would be all from me in case of further questions so that we can pick it up from there. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the admin person to do the needful. Yeah, I don't know what's delaying them. Miss Sophia, Mr. Emmanuel, anyone? Yeah. So specifically, there are numerous skills that people can take. There are a lot of great things out there that many people can just take up as skills that will project them very, very well. Many of our people, they will say there are no jobs. Okay, I had some quite crazy experience with some people in the past who would speak to me and say that they are in need of some job opportunities, and okay, you get them the job. The problem would now be they are not delivering, they could not meet their metrics, they could not meet the KPI. I mean, it's just because these guys are probably not prepared for the kind of future that they want. It could be the same scenario with some people who are also very interested in building a life of their dreams, but they really do not know the right skill that are required to function in that space. And that's when it comes to the question of asking questions, asking salient, important questions, right? Have a mentor, get someone that is already where you want to be. Don't live your life as a loner. You don't have to live your life as a loner. You need people that have been where you want to be, who can guide you through and tell you, okay, okay, these are some of the things you can do that can help you become that great person that you have always wanted to be, rather than just sit or rest on your horses, feeling like the future will just come to you. No, that's not how it works. That's basically not how it works. So it requires that we need to put in our best into whosoever we want to be. Yes, have the right sense of people in your team, work with people. Also, learn to collaborate more rather than compete. Many of our young people are more interested in taking the glory alone. No, no. Facebook was not only built by Mark Zuckerberg, he spearheaded that idea, but there were numerous people who worked in line towards achieving that dream. I mean, that could be the necessary things that we need to do at this critical time. Building more things like uh, collaborating more rather than competing with more people. You don't have to compete. You can build a life of your own dream, having people work with you. Do you understand what I'm saying in that direction? Yeah. Knock those doors again. Those doors that have been shut, knock them again. Go there, build that capacity. Don't even push for something you know you don't have capacity for. There's something, see, there's a clear difference between faith and foolishness. It is foolishness that you are so interested in working in a particular organization, but you don't have the requisite skill that can serve as the ingredient to getting you there. That's foolishness. But doing the right thing requires that you have built enough capacity, that it's on the right track of projecting in the right pedestal for excellence or the kind of future or life that you so desire. So let it be some of those things that will drive you, that will track you, that will put you on the right pedestal for excellence in all that you do. I hope all of that makes some sense. Are we ready now, Miss Sophia?
clock rings to wake you